the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Beth Bubik is the fasting coach. She's been in studio with me, and she'll help you start, turn a new page. Well, it's good to have you here again. I'm so grateful for it. I know that you've been helping people all over the country, probably around the world, too, with your ministry. And last time you were in here, I really enjoyed our conversation. Let's do some basics here to help people, because this goes, I don't care whether you start January 2nd, you start the middle of the year, you want to lose weight, you want to do it. Why do so many people make that resolution to lose weight and to get in shape? And you know, why do we address the body first and foremost? That's what most people do.
Yeah, well, because we're human, and a lot of times we really concentrate on what we can see. And so, we see our bodies, no matter what age you're at, and it just is so natural for us to say a new year, a new me. It's a great fresh start. Let me start doing things a little bit differently today. Unfortunately, I think what happens is we just get caught up in very lofty, big goals, and we use willpower instead of, bringing in our soul, which we're body, soul, composite. And so those are integrated all together, not to be separated until earthly death. So we've got to, bring in the soul and the graces from the sacraments as Catholics so that we can go ahead and make some small resolutions and not quit, on that Friday, the 9th. So not to be a quitter. And it's really, really important. So I always encourage all of my clients, especially my largest cohorts are always in January. Our first one starts January 19th, right? And that is because everybody wants a new start. I want a new start. I love it. But I love what you said about, who do you want to be on January 1st of 2027? Who do you want to be? A really virtuous person, right? Yeah. A person who is journeying towards sainthood, who has more emotional balance, who literally can, delay certain things because that's what they want to do in life. We concentrate on sugar, flour, and alcohol only because that is what takes us out of fitness. And it's very addicting. So that's kind of what we do. And once we get used to delaying sugar until feast days or alcohol or flour, then our life just seems to get a lot better because we can, weight loss is a little bit easier and our health in both body and soul just skyrockets. So, but here's the thing. The thing. When you're setting your New Year's resolution, when you're going forward in this year, think about just starting small. For instance, in 2024, I gave up drinking on Fridays. And that was really hard for me. That's Wednesdays and Fridays in our community are fasting days. And Friday was the hardest one. It was like beer and pizza at the end of the week. I had kind of always done with my family and, all of that. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink on Fridays. I'm going to offer that up for all priests because it is, all Fridays in the penitential all Fridays in the Catholic Church are penitential. So we're really supposed to not eat meat on those Saturdays or on those Fridays. And so I started to give up meat first, and then I started to give up alcohol on those days and sugar and flour as well. And I just said, just that one day for the entire year. And I think I fell 4 times in the entire year. And it was doable. It wasn't like a whole dry January, I'm going to do the whole month. Right. So then it became really doable. And then it became pretty easy to move a couple drinks onto Saturday, only in your whole wide work, in your whole week. Right. And so it was just something really, and I say it's small, but it's not easy. It's not easy because there's vacations in there. There were different things in there. And I did plan to drink on some of those times, but, and that's fine, but it feels really good. And so what did that do for me? It helped me maintain detachment. It helped me understand that I don't need food and alcohol to soothe myself or comfort myself. And I became detached, like, St. John of the Cross would say. So this is what we're all working on as Catholics is not only being fit in body and soul. Yes. Do we all want to be fit? We do. But, what kind of person are we looking to be at the end of the year? That journey is probably the most important.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. And I think a little bit about just what fasting can do. I mean, you're giving up, the alcohol, not every day. I mean, but you gave it up Fridays, which is a big thing, and Wednesdays as well. I think of, these resolutions. You're a fasting coach as well, and I found that once I'm able to master, the body, through fasting, it kind of frees you
Yeah.
from certain attachments. You also gain spiritual muscles
Oh
through
my
all
goodness.
that
Yeah.
right now. It's a weird thing. It's like a lot of people, they want to lose 40 pounds. I want to pray more. I want to, overhaul my budget, and everything
Yeah.
looks so big. They get paralyzed by the amount of work it's going to take them, right? They hit the patch, they miss a day, their old routine's back. Next thing you know, they're in the pantry with a bag of chips wondering what the heck happened, right? But
Yeah.
I think if you fall, like you said, you get back up. And I think your approach is really fascinating because you bring together fasting, prayer, and ultimately habit building. Those small little things that you do help build those practical muscles. They help build the spiritual muscles. It's not about willpower alone. It's about surrendering to grace and learning how the mind works and building systems of support. So I don't care whether it's your finances or it's your waistline or it's your prayer life. I mean, we have to really approach it in, I think, small steps and offer
Yeah.
those sacrifices for love of God. And if we do that, I think grace will play a big role in all this.
It's huge. And in fact, it's what we a lot of people say, well, do the grace first, but you have to do it in tandem because we're just not used to calling on our guardian angel to obtain the graces to fast on a Friday or to not drink in January. So dry January, do it. It's amazing, but do it for a spiritual purpose. Do it for your son to get him back into the church. Do it for your child who's sick or your husband's conversion. Don't ever waste any type of suffering or discipline without a spiritual purpose, because then it turns into fasting. And we want to be spiritual fasters as Catholics and really, really draw in the Holy Spirit into everything we do. And then miracles happen. I've had so many miracles happen. In fact, you were the one who gave me the idea of the St. Andrew's Christmas Novena, and I pulled you up on a podcast at one point,
That's awesome.
and I did it for the first time in December, and I had so many miracles happen.
Oh my gosh.
So that
Let me interrupt you. You got to write those down and let me know so that next year when I introduce people to St. Andrew, we can share some of your miracles because I love it.